A Genesis of Genocide, 1933 to 1945. The Holocaust, the systematic murder by Nazi Germany of approximately 6 million Jews and the destruction of Jewish communities. Night of Broken Glass, the Holocaust era, a dark era that gave an incurable scar to the history of the civilization. Worst atrocities of the Holocaust, the ghettos, the death squads, the extermination camps, the gas chambers and death chambers, the scars and wounds of survivors, vivid with the memory and resonant, with emotion, with pain of those who lived through it and heartache for those who did not.
From my diary to the history, buried 6 feet under the ground from the past 7 decades. This 12th of June 2021, it will be 92 years ago that I, Annalise Mary Frank, was born. My ambition was to become a writer. There was this dream within my heart to be remembered for centuries. And here I have got the glimpse of that dream through my diary. My diary that holds the weight of my dreams, my plans, and my vision. A unique record. I didn't just keep a diary but also wrote tales and planned to publish a book about my time in the secret annex. I never lost my ray of hope that maybe the tomorrow will come where Jews will be free, and that tomorrow did come indeed. But by then I was just a memory. Let me shed some new angles about my life before my secret annex, where I was a free bird of brilliance, where I was not discussed as one of the Holocaust victims. Dear Kitty, let me provide a brief sketch of my life. I, a German born in a Jewish family of 4, my darling parents and a sister of 16. My father, the most adorable father I had ever seen. My sister, Margot, was born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1926, and I was born in 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in September 1933 with my mother, Edith Hollander Frank, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December 1933 and I followed in February 1934. I have many relations, uncles and aunts who are darlings. A good home, strings of friends. I got masses of things from my mommy and daddy and was thoroughly spoiled by my various friends.
Today is the 25th June of 1942 and the dedication of my diary. Our entire class is cracking in its boots for the forthcoming meeting in which the teacher will decide who will be shifted up to the next form and who will be kept back. There are so many thinkers in my class that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unforeseeable creatures on the earth. I'm not so worried about my girlfriends and I'll make it. But a subject that I'm not sure about is probably maths. Anyways, let's first wait and not lose hope and hope for the best. Mr. Kessing, our school teacher who teaches us maths, was bewildered by me for ages because I was the talkative one. After several warnings, I was assigned extra homework to write an essay on chatterbox, and I thought the trick to come up with a convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking. I wrote 3 pages. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control, but I would never be able to cure myself of this habit since my mother talked as much as I did and even more. And there is not much one can do about inherited traits. Mr. Guessing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I talked again in the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay, and this time it was an incorrigible chatterbox.
This time, write an essay on an incorrigible chatterbox.
I handed it, and he had nothing to complain for about 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he finally had enough and punished me and assigned me to write an essay on quack, quack, quack.
It is enough now. Your punishment is to write an essay on quack, quack, quack. Got it. You talkative one.
I finished my poem with the help of my friend Sunny, who is good at poetry, and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were beaten to death by their father because they quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Kessing took the joke right way. He read the poem to the class, adding his comments, and to many other several classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. Kessing's always making jokes these days.
The chronicles of Annie's childhood were like bubbles, delightful but short-lived. She is a personification of resilience. She always dreamed big. She despised having a life lived in vain like most people, a goal to be useful or bring enjoyment to the people, even beyond her reach, beyond her existence. She deceased few weeks before the British Army set Jews free from the concentration camps. She stood up as the most beautiful flower. She withered away as a blossom and left footprints of fragrance, of her coats, of her vision, of her resilience.